Hi, my name is Mrs. Jessica Romance, and I've been asked by Mrs. Pepperato to talk to you a little bit about Alexander McCall Smith and his series, The Number One Ladies Detective Agency. A little bit about Alexander McCall Smith is that he taught law at the University of Botswana. Botswana is a country inside the continent of Africa. And if you look here, Botswana is located at the southern tip of Africa. And he taught here. Like I said, he was born in Zimbabwe. The setting of the Number One Ladies Detective Agency happens in Botswana. The series that he wrote is, again, called The Number One Ladies Detective Agency. And it is a series of books that is based upon an African woman named Precious Ramatswe. And she is a detective. She is very well liked and she is very well known in her area. And a lot of people go to her for advice or for help. And she decides to create an agency. The three main characters of the books are Precious, Grace, and JLB. And JLB is a boy, or a man I should say, that later becomes her fiance. The three of them work together at the agency and they solve local crimes or local mysteries. The genre of these books, as you can kind of tell, is mystery. I fell in love with these books when my grandmother had suggested them to me. My grandmother is a big reader. She was a reading teacher for 38 years, and I have developed that same love of reading. We often share books back and forth. And she suggested that I read these. I immediately fell in love with the style and the language and the fact that these books are about Africa. I have always been in love with African culture and have always wanted to travel to the continent of Africa. And so immediately these books grabbed my attention and I wanted to read more. I love the fact that they are a series. There are a significant number of them in the series. I've only read the first 5. But some of the other reasons that I like them, not only because of the style and the fact that they're about African culture, is the fact that they address issues that we all deal with. They address things about women in traditional versus non-traditional roles. They talk about the value of intelligence, the value of schooling, social relations within cultures, and they talk about just various ways of life. I really like that you get a taste of African culture through these. And what's even neater about this is that you get to create your image of the characters, and I think that Alexander McCall Smith does a really, really nice job describing the characters and making it so that you fall in love with them or you feel like you really know them. The first book just sets up the story and really talks a lot about Precious and why she started her agency, and it solves a few crimes throughout, and each book addresses some other needs in the culture in the area that she's living in, and they also have underlying stories of JLB and Precious's relationship, as well as Grace and how she is coming along as a woman with a college education. I'm going to read just a little bit from the Number One Ladies Detective Agency, just to give you a taste of the writing style. She was a good detective and a good woman in a good country, one might say. She loved her country, Botswana, which is a place of peace, and she loved Africa for all its trials. I'm not ashamed to become an African patriot, said Mima Ramatswe. I love all the people whom God made, and I especially know how to love the people who live in this place. They are my people, my brothers and sisters. It is my duty to help them solve the mysteries in their lives. That is what I'm called to do. Another reason why I'm sharing this with you is because Alexander McCall Smith will actually be coming to Houghton College later this month, and he will be doing a book talk similar to this, but he will be talking a little bit about his writing, and there will also be a reception where you will have opportunities to talk about his writing, ask questions, and get books signed. So I would strongly suggest that you pick up a book that he wrote. I have the first 5 here. Turn them maybe this way so you can read the titles a little bit better. And as you can see, even just by the title here, that it's not just about women, and so men can get interested too. The 4th book really addresses men becoming educated instead of being mechanics or just working with their hands and moving into education. So I strongly suggest that you pick up one of these books and read them, and I hope that you can share the same passion for reading and for learning about a new author as I do. Thanks for the invite.